Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Passive Income Network podcast, where we talk about investments, business, and innovative technologies. And today we have a good episode. It's going to be about cryptocurrency, what's kind of going on in the current markets. And then we have our guests that will be joining us and talk about Algorand ecosystem and a few other things related to that. So without further ado, let's bring on our two guests, Eric and Dom Baruta. How's it going? Start with
Eric. Pretty good. Thanks for having us.
That's on.
For sure. Yes. So thank y'all for coming on the show, and let's get this scene set really good. We are gonna start with like some Bitcoin right now. The last time I checked, at about the time of this video, Bitcoin is sitting around $60,000 in USD, and it has been kind of trading a little sideways in this range. And every time it hits around 65, I see crypto Twitter going crazy. What's y'all take? What's going on right now in the markets?
Yeah, it's super funny, right? Like when it corrects a little bit, people get super nervous. But I actually saw some graphs about the Octobers from the last 4 cycles. They never actually started that 1st of October. They usually start the 6th or 14th or 20th of October. So when sentiment changes, it can go up and up and up, but you don't have to be too worried about a little dip or here or there. Like if you have your conviction plays and you're happy with them, just keep it, stay at ease, and even buy more if you feel like you have the opportunity, at least from my perspective.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's funny, the last bull cycle, I forgot what the all-time high was. I think maybe 69 or 70,000 for Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And, everyone wishes, back then you've seen the memes all over. I don't have to, tell you. They're like, oh, I wish I would have entered Bitcoin when it was under 10,000. Then we get, the bear market. It was around 15, 17, one of those.
Yeah. Low is like 17. Yeah.
Right. So, 17. And it's interesting. We're basically back at, all-time high range, and we get a little dip of $3,000, $5,000, maybe $7,000, and everyone just loses it. So it's interesting how the sentiment can change in a few hours or a day.
Yeah, definitely. Crypto very volatile, and that scares a lot of people, but at the same time, that's a lot of opportunity if you are.
It's not even that volatile as in the past, right? Like it's more volatile.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it's to your point. It is volatile, but that's the enticing factor, right? Just because of the risk to reward ratio. But it all falls back to on what I feel like Eric was saying, your conviction, what your Trojan is, right? If you're basing it off of fundamentals, it shouldn't really affect people, too much. But if you're just, basing it off of hype, unfortunately, like most people do, I can see why it would drastically affect a lot of people with all the ebbs and the flows.
Oh, definitely.
And personally, I'm curious. I'm personally also curious how you look at that, Will, because for me it's always a bit interesting to see how other cryptocurrencies hold up when Bitcoin goes down. Like how did they react? But also when Bitcoin goes back up, how do they react? How do you look at that?
Well, right now I've been personally correlating it a lot with the stock market. So when we got a lot of good, vibes and S&P 500 or NASDAQ hitting all-time highs, and like especially NVIDIA right now, when semiconductors are doing good, I see Bitcoin seems to do a lot better. And then when Bitcoin doing good, you got the altcoins, the XRPs, Cardanos, all the Algorands and whatnot. And I feel like it's like a trickle down effect. So I think for some of the coins I do like, they're in Algorand, they're on the base ecosystems. I like the Cosmos ecosystems, but they definitely seem to do better when Bitcoin, and then like I said, NVIDIA or the semiconductors in particular. So I definitely watch the stock market a lot to kind of see what crypto doing at this point.
Correlating to that, like lately I heard a lot that maybe you can help me with this, not the Nasdaq or that one, but that there's the lower, smaller companies index, the stock market. They usually correlate that a lot with the alt market, right?
Russell 2000, I
Yeah,
believe
that one. Yeah.
IWM. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I know some of those smaller caps are like industrial companies and utilities and real estate. Some of those smaller companies have been doing really well, but I'm not sure with the correlation to altcoins, because sometimes I notice altcoins do whatever they want to do. Like, you know, when you get a Coinbase announcement, like we saw Aerodrome, and Moonwell just had one, but they just do whatever they want to do depending on, you know, whatever the hype is. So altcoins are something crazy.
For me, the interesting thing is that if you look at the like Algorand and, for example, Polkagold, where we are talking about a little bit later also today, is that it's quite miraculous that they hold up so well. If you look at the all over market sentiment, right? I think over the last 6 months, the Polkagold maybe lost 20%, whereas most altcoins dipped like 2-3x. Even the blue chip ones like Polkadot and even Sol like is more down than Polkagold or Algorand in the last 7 days, which is kind of crazy. I find it super interesting to keep track of that, right? These kind of things that keep up with the market don't dip that much. That means that you have big communities that support them, not willing to sell them, and there's tokenomics behind them to triple them up when things go good.
Yeah, I think definitely. I was watching this video. It was a guy from Token 49. He was talking about community coins, meme coins, and the way they're set up. And I agree with the fully diluted coins that are, like, I guess, community driven, have been pretty solid depending on, you know, the situation. And I think this is a great transition. I'm gonna, you know, pass it back to y'all. Let's break down to the audience what is Polkagold and how it came about, and then I'll let's start with you, Don.
Yeah, so Polkagold came about. It was actually from an interview with the Kusumerian, and the founder of Polkadot was speaking, Dr. Gavin Wood, and he was saying how he would like the Polkadot treasury to have a diverse set of assets, whether it was oil, gold, even another cryptocurrency, right, at the time. And I forget the exact time frame of that interview, but while after this project came about, Polkagold, and it just popped up. I want to say like out of nowhere. There was no indication of anything. I believe what was it? I believe the date was sometime around mid-November, right?
Correct.
Yeah, mid-November. So it came about. There is only 10 million of these Polkagold coins, right? They were all released from day one. Another thing is it's an anonymous founding or founder. No one knows who it is, you know, so akin to Bitcoin with Satoshi Nakamoto, right? What makes it stand out, I would say, in my humble opinion, is apart from the token supply being fully released, you know, are the trustless nature of it. So I would say decentralization, right? And what I mean by trustless is the liquidity pools. So most people, I would say, with this project are a bit unaware, maybe possibly because of the name Polkagold, and maybe they think it's from the DOT ecosystem, right? But it was actually chosen to be built on Algorand for many reasons, right? One of the major reasons I would say why it was, in my theory, why it was chosen to be built on Algorand as opposed to Polkadot, it'd be just for the transaction speed. That's one major catalyst, right? So as you're aware, instant finality. If you're in the Algorand ecosystem, I mean, it doesn't get better than that. We've all experimented with other blockchains. We've all sent, whether it's funds to someone else or from one wallet to the other, and your funds kind of lag for a couple of minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, it varies. But with Algorand, you don't worry about that, right? So I think that was a major reason why Algorand was specifically chosen for Polkagold. So that's the sum of where or how or why Polkagold came about. It was
Basically, if we can add on top of that, Don, as well, it feels a little bit like P-Gold is basically the Bitcoin of the Algorand ecosystem, right? So you have the maximum supply released, everything is circulation, so you cannot get scammed or bothered by that. There's no further releases, but it has the value of all these interactions plus all this liquidity locked to different Algorand ecosystems and coins, and Algorand as well, right? So basically it's like if you believe in Algorand as an ecosystem, which I do, then P-Gold is basically your Bitcoin of Algorand, and then you have the benefits of that. It is a DeFi coin, right? So you can go to Tinyman, the Para Wallet, Cometa, and these types of different platforms to stake these coins and gain interest on them. So the funny thing is that let's say Polkagold even didn't devaluate that much the last time with all these downturns if you compare it even to Bitcoin. But if you just were staking it, you would have just breaked even because you were making money basically daily by staking it on Tinyman, for example, or Cometa. So it's basically your Bitcoin of Algorand with the benefit that you can make DeFi profits on it just by holding it. It's just like holding, let's say, dollars in your bank account and getting interest on it. But these interests are a little bit different, right? You can get, let's say, 20, 30, 40, 100% interest rates, depending on which pools you're staking it on Tinyman. But you still know that Polkagold has only 10 million coins ever in existence, maximum supply. Even a lot of them are locked. Whereas with your dollars on your bank account, you know that the Fed can just print some extra dollars when there's some crisis and you devaluate in money, right? So that's the huge difference in these two comparisons.
Well, I just want to add to that, Eric. Another innovative concept that doesn't really get talked about is the protocol, right? The proof of purchase. So, we all know Bitcoin is proof of work, but with Polkagold, it's proof of purchase, POP, right? And that just means, there's an acquisition cost to every unit of Polkagold, right? So even whoever the founder or founders were, even they have to acquire Polkagold just like everyone else, right? Just like Satoshi had to mine his Bitcoin on his laptop like everyone else back in 2009. So, from a egalitarian perspective, I mean, yeah, it's revolutionary in that regard. And apart from that, I would say
super
it's
fair
better.
also, right? It's like you're like the thing is we're all in crypto space for a longer time frame, and you as well, Will. Like it happened to me that you go into some kind of space, you get screwed over, rug pulled, or clicked something wrong when you were at the beginning, when you started in your crypto experience, you got screwed over. Yeah, that's what we all don't like, right? And that's also creating a little bit of distrust in the whole space. But this with Polkagold is something completely different. Everything is released, everything is in circulation. nothing is there to scam you. It's just a fair thing. It can go down in price. Okay, fair enough. But nobody screwed you over, right? Where in a lot of other crypto projects, especially microcaps like Polkagold is at the moment, you can get rug pulled, and that feels terrible, right? So you want to stay away from that.
Yeah, and I'll add there too, what I noticed between like a Polkagold, these type of coins, is the community-led aspect. So as people know, if you're watching this, I have made like different tutorial videos explaining Polkagold initiatives and things. But what I do know is the like support or funds or whatnot has came from the community. So there's not like a business that has developed the coin and then pushed it and was like, hey, can you make these videos? It's like, hey, community's like, hey, we need some explanations about what's going on, how to do it. So y'all reach out, and that's, pretty much what I do. So I appreciate that aspect, that it does let people in that community who just are token holders, as y'all said, that purchased P Gold off the open market, make their own decisions on how they want to promote, market, or share or distribute this coin. So I think that is a very interesting thing that we will see a lot more of in the future, is that people taking the initiative on something they're into, but it's not, at the same time, it is not tied to a particular platform or protocol or whatnot. I think that's really dope.
That's about fairness, right? Like in the end, like we're all in here like to promote the crypto space, and I think it feels a bit wrong if you're some kind of big crypto project that has millions of token releases which diluted the price. Like even, for example, Sui, I think that's up a lot lately, and I don't even think it's a bad crypto project, but I think only maybe 20% of all the tokens are in release. So that means that investors that invest money into that project still have 80% of the value just sitting there in the backbone, and they can just drop it at some point into the market, right? And then your price goes. Whereas with these tokens where you have everything released, maximum supply, and it's fixed, it's locked in vaults. Like nothing's gonna happen. Nobody can change it. Not even the anonymous creators can change this.
So with the vaults, can you break down the vault situation for those who don't know? I know Vestige is one of the vaults, or can you break down how it works, or the story behind that?
Explain this best, I think.
For sure.
I'll try. So with the vaults, as you pointed out on Vestige.fi, there is over 60% of Polkagold's locked liquidity. So it's locked. In reality, it means it's burned forever, or anchored, if you want to word it, to Algorand, right? So basically, about 3.1 million P Gold was locked into Algorand, burned forever, right? I believe roughly that figure right now is about, I want to say around $600,000, something like that at the time of this, podcast. So that's $600,000 that is gone forever, in the sense of it's anchored by Algorand. So as long as
it's anchored forever, so maybe to just jump in for a tiny bit, that basically means that, let's say, if Algorand goes up with 20%, then because of the locked liquidity, 60%, those 3 million of the 10 million Polkagold tokens locked to Algorand, those pools will automatically buy Polkagold. So if Algorand goes up, then those liquidity pools automatically, that doesn't need any buyer or seller, will buy Polkagold, so also that price goes up. So that's the benefit of it. So basically, if Polkagold has no buyers whatsoever for the rest of the entire year, but everybody buys Algorand, then still Polkagold will go up, because it is locked liquidity to it.
So it kind of balances itself out a little bit. The more algos that go up in there, those algos then be purchasing Polkagold.
Yeah, so basically there are locked liquidity tanks which cannot be removed ever. So if Algorand goes up, then Polkagold goes up. If Polkagold goes down, automatically Algorand buys Polkagold tokens. So it balances itself out, but also basically we're, as Polkagold owners, quite dependent on Algorand doing good. If they do good and they go up massively, we'll climb along with them. We don't need any new buyers, because these liquidity pools, which is more than 60% of the whole thing, will just automatically buy Polkagold. If you buy now one Algorand, automatically this liquidity pool will buy some Polkagold because you did so, and that's locked forever.
Makes sense. So okay, it as Polkagold, what does it say? The reserve digital commodity for Algorand, Polkadot.
Yeah, it's like the BTC of Algorand, and especially this kicks into it, right?
Yeah, makes sense. And in terms of like DeFi, what are the platforms you can get Polkagold on, or how to access it, and want to break down what you need? I know for one, Para Wallet or a DeFi wallet, and you said TinyMan. Where else is Polkagold accessible?
I think these are the main ones, and you don't really have to go to the outskirts of it, right? I think Para Wallet is a really good wallet in the crypto space. Works really good. I think you can comment on that. So you can just get Para Wallet and thereby swap Algorand or USDC for Polkagold. I think TinyMan kicks more into it for the whole DeFi space. If you want to put, let's say, Algorand and P-Gold into a pool, so you can get DeFi rewards on top of that, and these things. Also there you can switch, but it's fine. And DeFi works the same. But I think main thing, just get Para Wallet, get your Algorand, can be from Coinbase or wherever you purchase it, Binance, send it to your Para Wallet, swap, done. It's relatively simple.
Yeah, and I do notice from all the videos I made that Polkagold does have a deep liquidity, and what I've seen on like TinyMan, Vestige, it's one of the, like, I would say, largest market caps, a lot of circulating that people are tapping into. So I always think that's something to point out to people. And talk about Algorand a little bit and kind of go back. How did y'all find Algorand, and what made you, I guess, stick around? You know what I mean? So for me, I'll start with myself. I was just like, someone told me about crypto, and then I'm like, okay, cool. I started naturally with some Bitcoin, and then I heard about XRP, and then I started finding out about NFTs, and I was like, okay, let me make some NFTs. I tried to go use Ethereum, and it was like, at this point, like $150 to try to mint an NFT. I was like, one NFT? Don't make sense to me. Not going to do it. So, as I'm looking around, I ran into an Algorand.
Switching around from one wallet to another was super expensive, right? Because of all the
that was like, $25, $30. So I was not into that. Then I got into Algorand. It was great. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm about to park here for a while and see what happens. So how'd y'all get into Algorand, or how you discover it? Start with, I guess, you, Eric.
Sure. Actually, it's a bit sideways, because I think I started in the crypto space maybe 5-6 years ago or so. Then it was with ETH and Bitcoin and stuff like that. The whole Luna crash, if you remember that one. That was fun. Good learning experience.
Yeah, I was just watching the charts, like, this is crazy.
Yeah, at least I was not big into that one. I had some, but okay, that was gone. But I think that's a learning experience, right? In this space, you can go multiples up, you can go multiples down. So you have to play it safe. That's why it's also do your research, have your conviction place, and don't have too many coins, and focus on the things that you believe in. But sorry, I got distracted a little bit. But how I started in that space in the Netherlands, you have a crypto market called Bitfavo. I'm Dutch, so I got in there. Then I got kind of wrecked. I started before COVID, and then it went all up. Then afterwards it got down. I think I broke even, more or less, but it was fine. But then I found this, let's say, influencer. I don't want to, well, it's maybe not unfair to call him like that. It's called Market Mobster, which is a British guy that just puts really fair content out there. He's just explaining how he sees it, gives you a fair analysis about everything, and doesn't try to, with a lot of these influencers, which we are not, just trying to pump their own bags and use you as exit liquidity, but just give you the fair and square insight. They can be wrong also sometimes, but that is it. And then I was into the Polkadot ecosystem actually in the beginning, which I liked, and then actually got introduced to Polkagold, like P-Gold, where we were talking about a bit before now. And because I wanted to buy it, because I thought the tokenomics were insane with this everything released, maximum supply out there, I needed to buy Algorand. And then I got to know Algorand, and then I figured out, hey, this is quite good actually. Also, if I have profits in crypto,
I got you.
I can move it to Algorand, swap it over to other wallets I have, super cheap, and pay myself out instead of switching around Sol or ETH or Bitcoin or something. Sol's maybe a bit cheaper, but Algorand is by far the fastest and the cheapest, which I then learned actually by this small coin. So that's how I got into it, and now I'm super enthusiastic about it. So now I got a governor in the tiny man and the governance stuff. I locked some coins in to get some votes in the system. So I got more, okay, that's a longer story, but actually by coincidence of P-Gold, I got into Algorand actually by market.
And that seems like that's what the plan was for a lot of people, to be like, how can we get people to Algorand, right? And then kind of what Polkagold did was like, hey, if you need to get this, come over here. Then once you try it out, and that's what they're trying to do with the Coinbase Quest right now. Once you try it out, you start to compare it to your experiences, and then you realize like, damn, this is a good blockchain. What about you, Don Baruda?
Yeah, so I got into crypto around 2018. Back then, one of my first coins was VeChain, and I still like it. It's been good. But I experienced the downfall of the Three Arrows Capital. It's like that whole FTX fiasco. But I was actually on a platform. It was Voyager. I don't know if anyone is familiar.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I got burned on that one. Right. It's like they say, not your keys, not your coins. Lesson learned.
Right.
Yeah. After that, similar to Eric's story, I was on Twitter just randomly, by the way. I seen a tweet from Mobster. He was like P-Gold, and I was like, what is P? He just wrote P-Gold. That's all I remember, right? So I look. A couple hours go by, I'm like, you know what? Let me see what this is, right? Back then, there was no even website, by the way. So listen to this. This is how I got into Algorand. So there was no website. There was no nothing, Will. It was just like a ticker. So I see these numbers. It's the contract address. I look, and it's like, oh, you have to go to Vestige. I was like, what is Vestige? I didn't know what Vestige was, right? So I go there. It's like, oh, okay, but I need Algorand. I'm like, I don't have any Algorand. Go on Coinbase, buy some Algorand, shoot it over, do a swap, right? And bought a little bit of P-Gold, and I kept on watching the developments, right? And slowly there was a website. Not slowly, maybe after 5 days, 6 days, there was a website, there was a white paper, and then, liquidity pools started coming in. Because at first I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know. Because, I was just hesitant. But then I seen a liquidity pool burn. And I was like, liquidity pool burn? What is this? Hold on. And apart from that, with regards to Algorand, it's just so seamless. the beauty of Algorand, right, is it's just impeccable, right? Like in the sense of once you get it, it's like, why would I go back? You know what I mean? Like in terms of transactions, everything.
It's a bit of a shame actually that there are not more projects like this, like crossovers that build into Algorand, because I think, at least from our group, I think 80-90% are people that came from DOT or other ecosystems, got noticed by Algorand, and then we thought like, fuck, this is actually much better, and switched, right? So I think there's a lot of gain there, and props to you for giving us a little bit of space to talk about this, because I think within the Algorand system, it's not yet fully recognized that these kind of projects will really help the ecosystem grow, because I think there's nobody out there. Also, if you go to the Discord of Market Mobster and all these kind of things, everybody will tell you Algorand tech, best out there, fast, no problems, nothing happens, everything's super good. The only thing is the exposure. That's the only thing that lacks. So we need more projects like this, right? To go into the Algorand system, prop up the exposure, show how good that blockchain is, Algorand, and then grow, right? Because there's nobody, not even like the developers and anybody, will tell you anything wrong about Algorand as a blockchain. It's by far the best technology.
All they say is, price isn't as high as it should be. That's pretty much the only, bad thing one could say.
It's liquidity in the system and exposure to the blockchain. So the only thing we all have to do is just tell people how good it is, right? Why would I not transfer my, like, say, 10K of dollars in Algorand for 1-2 cents to another wallet? Or I pay like $50 if I do it with Ethereum or something, or more, right?
Yeah.
So
my whole narrative is like, at this point, because I tried, like, I'll probably say most of the major blockchains. Like I said, I like a few of them, but my whole thing is like Algorand and Base blockchain, the Ethereum layer 2 by Coinbase. I think those two are the key to crypto adoption right now. For everything we said here, the freedom to do what you want on Algorand as a community or a business, and the overall experience is great with all the real world assets. And then I like Base for similar reasons, but it just makes Ethereum better and has a brand recognition. Yeah, so I definitely, so that's what I've been talking to people about. I was like, hey, Algorand and Base over there is my favorite by far at this point.
And who knows, like in the end, like in crypto space, it's all about narratives, right? It can be AI, it can be whatever, meme coins, whatever it can be. But if it ever turns back to DeFi, Algorand's gonna blow it out of the water, right? Because it's the cheapest fucking chain out there with the easiest way to create DeFi types of coins, right? Quite basically in DeFi, to simplify it, when you put your dollars in your bank account and you get interest rates, but now you put your crypto into a bank account and you get interest on that. If you want to bring that back into the crypto space and that gets popular again, Algorand is going to blow it out of the water. There's no other.
I keep my my cash, my USDC and euros and all that on Algorand for sure because of that same thing. I get some like from like Robinhood and stuff like high yield interest on cash is like 5%, but you can go get on DeFi 12, 15, 30 sometime, and feels exactly the same. It just the money comes in a little faster on Algorand.
Yeah, but it comes faster as well. But I think we're all in alignment with that. But if you just think about it, if you keep your dollars or euros, in my case, in your bank account, and you get this like 1% interest rate in my bank account, and then the central bank decides to print a bit more money because the economy is going down, then that value of that euro or dollar is going down, right? Like, it's like a double whammy just to invest it there.
Yeah, and in the U.S., as y'all probably know, aware of, we print a lot here, so you gotta be earning some yield.
Not
the
COVID, but we print over here every time.
Well, that's the thing. The beauty with the Polkagold DeFi is, you're earning interest on a non-inflationary asset, right? So, with our dollars, to your point, fiat is, it's never going to end. And they're still going to print even more moving forward. There's never been a time in our lifetime, or our parents or our grandparents, where there was huge or massive deflation, right? So the printing is still going to, go on rampant. But at least with Polkagold, you're earning interest. You're actually earning interest on three currencies, right? So like on the Tiny Man farming, you're earning Tiny, their new coin, which I'm sure you got some of for using Tiny Man, right, Will? The airdrop.
Sure. Yep. Most definitely. Yep.
Yeah. So you're earning interest via Tiny, the Tiny token. Then you're earning the LP governance. You're earning Algorand, and then you're earning P-Gold, right? And then to top it off, now we just had, or not now, but a couple of months ago, we had our own meme coin launch, Dalgo. So we haven't touched Dalgo. Dalgo, it was a community initiative, right? We voted for the name, the character, website, all those things. But another thing we forgot to mention with Dalgo is, we put in over 1 million P-Gold. So this is, community, funds. So just normal people. There's no VC, there's no investors, nothing like that. And we anchored Dalgo, even though Dalgo is a meme coin, it's anchored with, how much is it now, Eric? Like 1.5 million? Or I forget the P-Gold. I forget the exact figure.
I think it's 3 million locked liquidity.
P-Gold. No, the 3.1 million of locked liquidity in P-Gold, that's just to Algorand. But we have over 1 million P-Gold anchored to Dalgo. So that's why you see. Oh yeah, this is another thing I want to clarify, Will. This is why if you look at Dalgo, if you notice, the liquidity is more than the market cap, right? Mm. The reason for that is because it's anchored to Polkagold, because there's over that 1 million. So it started off. I don't want to say it started off with the market cap, but in theory it kind of did with that launch. Because it was the same thing. It was a fair launch.
And again, also Dalgo, because again a community coin, has the same principles, right? It's maximum supply released at the beginning, so there's no inflation in that whatsoever, right? So it's just more a fun kind of meme coin token to help the Algorand the ecosystem and the Polkagold ecosystem. And I think that's something crucial also for the future, that people within the Algorand space starts to trust projects like the ones we support, right? P-Gold and Dalgo.
For sure.
Because if you look 6 months back, which is a long period of time, right? I think we outpaced Algorand itself. We stayed just level. We didn't go massively down. I think if you were holding AVAX or whatever other blue chip coin, we stayed higher because of this locked liquidity and people and a community that supported it and keeps it on level. So I think this can be like this can super help the Algorand ecosystem as such, right? If we stay stable, if we grow, if we don't drop as much, if the rest drops, and if, let's say, hopefully, that's our ambition, of course, if we pop up in some kind of bull market, that will help the Algorand system even more. Because one, you need to buy Algorand to get P-Gold or Dalgo. Mm-hmm. And two, if you have a stable coin that doesn't rug you, but grows within the space, then people will be more looking to this blockchain as a whole, right? So I think we can all help each other here.
Well, I just need to add to that in terms of trust. I actually don't want people to trust. I want people to verify, because that's the saying.
Fair enough.
Trust, verify, right? So this is all I'm asking from people. Go on the vestige.fi, look at the votes. You know, I'm a firm believer in old saying, numbers don't lie, people lie. So, everything a person needs, I feel like, is in those vaults, right? And apart from that, you look at the vaults, there's unlocks, right? So those unlocks are for the Polkadot Foundation, the Polkadot Treasury. That's no one's money. That's going to be gifted to either the Web3 Foundation of Polkadot or Dr. Gavin Wood himself, those keys, at no cost. So this is another thing too that's, I want to say, massively underrated about this project is it's kind of like what you see, what you get, but like sometimes it's like, it kind of throws you off guard because it's really kind.
Can I also turn the question around a little bit, Will? Because you're probably much more educated about the Algorand ecosystem than I am. What are you excited about?
What am I excited about? I really overall want to see more adoption in Algorand because, like, as we all talked about, that's the main thing I think we need is liquidity and adoption, and not just to like pump my bags. Of course, I want my bags to pump. Like, let's be clear, but I think just overall. You said what?
I said we all want that 100x.
Yeah. So let's be clear there, but I think overall, yeah, because, like we say, my experiences using other blockchains, not all of them have been great. I do like I said, the ones I named. I like Injective as well. I'll throw that in there. But I think Algorand is strong because of its community, right? And then like innovative projects like this that you can just come over there and actually take the technology and do what you want with it, and it's so cost affordable from whether you're in a high economy country to a lower economy country. You can still do the same thing, and there's no gatekeepers. And I believe that, again, without even regard to Algorand's coin itself, you could do what you want. I think that's the most important aspect. So I just want to see more adoption, more awareness, and people building on Algorand. And that'll benefit all of us.
For some reason, it's also exposure, right? Because if you talk about adoption, I'm still flabbergasted that Algorand has a partnership with FIFA, like the World Cup of football. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, how big of an organization do you want to have, right? And I'm not the biggest fan of NFTs, but if you have NFTs of football players where you can collect like your Ronaldos and whatever of the worlds, like what the hell? That's definitely a market, right? So if that's already a collaboration, like the use cases of Algorand and already practically done in the current market with the partnerships they have, it's insane. But for some reason, not a lot of people in the crypto space realize this yet or something.
Massively underrated. Massively underrated.
I think personally, I think a big problem is that, for one, the United States is not fully on board because, I think once the United States does get aboard on crypto as a whole, it'll just go to another level. I'll throw in
BlackRock will help.
probably.
It's not my favorite institution, but the fact that they
it's not my favorite.
is a big thing.
Yeah, but they're pushing, and then I think payments, another big thing. I think payments. Algorand should focus on payments. So if you can go out
Visa,
like they're doing in El Salvador,
stuff like that.
Yeah. If I can go buy coffee with USDC or a euro on Algorand, I think
if you have a MasterCard or a credit card which worked with your Algorand money, and you can buy your coffee. Indeed, you go to the whatever Starbucks, whatever you want to go.
Yeah.
And you can buy your coffee with your credit card, paying with Algorand. That would be fucking great, right?
Yeah. So that level, or just either, a POS system that's like, hey, scan the QR code, send your stable coin there. Either way, that would work. I just know in the US, we have a lot of barriers for some of the things you can do out in Europe or Africa or South America somewhere. So we're always a little held back. Like even the Coinbase Quest, we can't even participate. So we always got to kind of jump around. So
can you
for
tell
the
me
rest
a little
of
bit about
y'all,
the
I think
Coinbase Quest? Like I'm not that familiar with it. Like, do you know much more about it?
Yeah. So what they're doing right now, it's let's see, it's some of the main platforms. It's Examarket for NFTs. You got Meld Gold for gold, Folks Finance, Tiny Man, Parawallet, and non-fungible domains. I believe that's all of them. So you, from a Coinbase user signs up with Coinbase or one of their users, and then they activate their like quest portion. Then they go in the ecosystem and do a few activities, and then they win some coins and some money and things of that nature. And it has made, I think Examarket, they claimed like, something like 60,000 NFTs or something of that nature, and non-fungible domains, 20, 30,000 free domain names. So those things there, I think, is a great initiative to get people around the world, as what y'all said, experience Algorand, and then after you experience it, you start to compare and make your own decision. Yeah. So I think it's a great idea, and so shout out to Algorand Foundation for that.
No, for sure, I completely agree. Yeah. Like in the end, like I think, but I literally, like, I've been now in the crypto space for quite, like, let's say 2.5 cycles or so, and I never heard anybody say like, okay, which is the best technology blockchain? Algorand. Everybody says Algorand.
For sure.
The thing is that they say, it doesn't have enough exposure, so not enough use. So that's the thing we have to change, right? So all kinds of projects like P-Gold or Delgo as a meme coin on the chain that gives exposure to it is good, right? So that's what we need to focus on, like, and all kinds of collaborations. And I think that will be also an important thing for the future, that we as a, let's say, Algo family support each other, right? And maybe find some interconnections with the different projects that we have. And I would like if other community members or other let's say project owners in the Algorand space are listening to this podcast, reach out, try to find some collaborations, and we can grow together, right? Instead of you or me.
For sure, definitely. So let's slowly start to close out. I do like to do a lot of words of wisdom and stuff like that. So I know we'll start with you, Don. You did say one earlier, not your keys, not your crypto, was great. But you got any words of wisdom for new people coming into cryptocurrency in general?
So I feel like I said it again, even though it's not my my saying, don't trust, verify. I feel like every person needs to do their due diligence, right? And apart from that, I would say look into, something that has actually underlying value. So like you stated, Will, RWAs, real world assets. These new innovations are not going anywhere, right? It's just getting started. And with Algorand, I mean, it's here to stay. That's all I got to say. Everyone just do your due diligence, and if you have, your high conviction, in reality, you can rough out any storm. That's all.
For sure. All right, Eric, what you got?
All right, like for me, importantly is that you have to understand, even in the stock market, but also in the crypto space, there's going to be a lot of volatility, right? So I think it's important that if you are in the crypto space, just select a few projects that you believe in, invest in those, and don't get like chickened out of it, right? They can go up 50% one day, 20% the next day down, then 100% up, then 200% down. Can happen, right? But if you invest in something you believed in, you researched in, and it's valid, you can just stay there, add when you want to, and you'll be fine, right? So don't have too many crypto coins, just have a few projects, and the ones that you believe in. Don't get scared when it goes bad one day, because if you believe in it and you think it's going to be okay, eventually in like 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, we'll fine. So stay steady, believe in your convictions, and don't diversify too much, because if you have like 100 coins, you're not able to see anymore what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Great advice from both of y'all, words of wisdom. Appreciate it. Y'all stay backstage real quick. I'm going to close out to the audience. Thank y'all.
Cool. Thanks, Will.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So very good informational episode. If you tapped into the whole show, we much appreciate it. And make sure, for one, y'all go check out the Polkagold Twitter website. We'll have all those links in the description. Make sure y'all do your due diligence. Don't hold too many coins in your bag, and make sure that you verify everything before you do it. Also, go check out Dialgo, Tiny Man Parawalla Investage for more information. And that was 2 community members from the Polkagold community. Go check out their Discords and talk to some people. And big shout out to everybody who has watched this video. Until the next one, see Will with the Passive Income Network. I'm gone.